Okay, hit us with it. Hit him with it.
Welcome back to the A&H Two-Person Book Club podcast. Still don't know. We're
Hard to say.
5th episode in.
5th episode.
Lucky number 5. And we still don't know the official title of our... We just say book club, I feel like.
It is a book club.
That developed
Into
this
a podcast.
Yes. Correct. I'm Haley.
I'm Ashley.
Today we have our friend Joe with us. Say
hi
to the crowd, Joe.
Hello, crowd.
And he is our guest today. Lindsay's here I think she just came in.
Our producer is in the house.
You can hear her dog. I don't know if you could hear her. Hey, and last episode we said we had an upgrade, but I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we got a for real upgrade this week.
Yeah, I think we do. We'll post a picture, but our setup is getting much improved every single day. So we're moving in the right direction.
We have gone ahead and purchased ourselves some microphones and audio interference.
The interface.
Oh my God.
We got some audio interference.
There's some interference on the play. All right.
A flag on the play.
If you will. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Sovereign by Raya Morris Edwards.
And we are coming to you not live because we definitely have to edit this shit.
Always.
From Sovereign Mountain.
In Montana. And you might hear me do a little accent every now and then. And it's more of a Savannah accent.
It's so terrible. She did this to me on the phone earlier, and I then spit my beverage across the room.
And choked. And had to go and shower because she spit up on herself from laughing.
I am a toddler in a grown woman's
and
body.
Lindsay is currently feeding her dog, Sadie.
Went to 2 preseason hockey games, and I was super duper excited about them. Which Haley was supposed to come with me to one of them.
We were supposed to do a road and record. And I was supposed to go, and it was the Devils versus the Rangers. And it was the 2 nights back to back, and I had a strange feeling that it was at the same time as the game in Prague. And it was. My feeling was correct. And guess what? The Devils played the farm team.
So Ashley got to watch your Utica Comets take on the New York Rangers, and it was actually really fun. I had a great time.
I had too much going on, and I said, I'm too stressed. I have to stay at home. I cannot travel that far to watch the Utica Comets. I love you so much. But we will be returning. Mm-hmm. And Ashley got me a little souvenir, so I love her for that.
I also FaceTimed you from the team store.
And I looked like I was going to cry. This podcast is sponsored by Jack Hughes' Spontaneous Cake Development. Proud of you. You put in work on that off season with that shoulder injury. Lower body work. Tell your story. Wait, no.
Oh, yeah. Tell your story.
Tell your story.
Oh, I was going to tell my story. Okay, so I have a cool sword, right? So I have a really cool sword that my brothers got me as a wedding present. It's called the Apaka Katana, from a company called Zombie Tools out of Missoula, Montana. It's like a real deal, badass sword. I was thinking oh man, I should maybe I could mount, hang it on my wall or something like that. So I was in the process today of trying to figure out how to mount it on my wall, and my dog started barking at the door. I had the main door open, just storm door, so you could see in it. And so I have a sword in my hand. I'm listening to it happened to be metal music, really loud.
Disrespect your surroundings.
And so the dog started barking at the door. So I kind of come around the corner holding an unsheathed sword, Liz blaring metal music, and I had a shirt on that had like one of my friend's tattoo companies, so it was like skull, like all this like dark sort of whatever.
This guy fucks.
Yeah, and it was someone canvassing for a local politician.
Oh no!
So like I come around the corner holding a sword with a pit bull barking.
Get out of here!
With metal music like playing really loudly. And like I literally turned the corner holding a sword, and then and we make eye contact through the door, and so it's like I have to engage him. I can't pretend like I'm not there. Oh. So I sheath the sword, put it on the couch so the dog doesn't cut herself on it. Like, but put it on the couch and then go out. And then he's like, "Hi, I'm Ethan." "Hey, Ethan, I'm Joe." "Hey, I would like you to vote for this person." I was like, "Yeah, I'm very familiar with this person." Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
I love that. "Hi, Jake from State Farm. What are you wearing?"
Khakis.
"She sounds hideous."
With skulls and a
Sword.
A katana. You should look up what a katana is, producer. I know what a katana is.
Could it be shoved in?
I guess as funny as like this story is for me, I imagine that this person will probably be.
Oh, they're going back and telling me.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Dude came around the corner with like a full-on sword."
He's gonna say that he's not doing any more door calls for this politician.
No more canvassing.
Oh, so it's this kind of podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Two girls, one podcast.
2 girls, 1 podcast.
I am on one today. I'll tell you what.
She. I'll tell you what.
It's kind of like it's more of a Savannah accent. Sounds like molasses.
It's rolling off your tongue.
All right, let's talk about this book.
Okay.
Shall we?
All right. So Haley doesn't remember any of this book.
I do. I read it way earlier, and I've been trying to get you to read it for too long, and you finally did.
And it's good. I'll tell you what. So this is, like we said, Sovereign. It's by Raya Morris Edwards. We talked about some of the tropes. Dark cowboy romance, BDSM. There's an age gap. He is 38 and she is 21. Touch her and die. Forced proximity. He's morally gray and she is widowed. So let's take it back to the beginning. So the book starts with Kira being in her house on the ranch. She's Kira Garrison, and she lives on the Garrison Ranch, and essentially is super subservient to her husband. He makes her do everything on the ranch. She's got to feed all the ranch hands, and she's miserable, and you can tell she's miserable. But as we're meeting her, a stranger comes to her house, and that stranger is Gerard Sovereign, who is described as being very large, foreboding presence, big scary man. So he is doing business dealings with Clint Garrison, who is Kira's husband. And Clint is a literal piece of shit, an actual piece of trash.
I think he almost hits her.
Yeah, he forces her to stand in the room in case anyone needs anything. He won't employ anyone because he makes her do all of it. He's a piece of literal shit. I call him Cunt Garrison. But anyway, we can... So Gerard Sovereign is over, and we get maybe my favorite quote of the book within the first 5% of the book. The quote is actually 3% into the book, and it is, "Mrs. Garrison, I could bend you over this desk and fuck you with your husband watching, and he wouldn't say a goddamn word." And in that moment, I knew
that I would
be in love with this man.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, Gerard, you real?"
And I said, "And I'm gonna come
to the concert, ranch. To Ram Ranch."
So anyway,
18 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
this is why we can never get anything done. We're unhinged. Gerard Sovereign leaves, which is fine, but he is legitimately obsessed with her after that. Like, the next quote we get is, "I thought I felt desire before now, but the way my body burns when I look at her face is something new. She is, without a doubt, the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. On screen, on page, in real life." So, Cunt Garrison goes to Sovereign Ranch to buy some cattle or something. And he is dead.
What? Plot twist.
He dies.
How'd he die?
Gerard killed him.
6% into the book. There was a cattle accident.
Cattle accident.
Turns out
Wrong kid died.
it turns out that somehow Clint Garrison, who was cheating on his wife, hated her, treated her like trash, left everything to her.
Cunt Garrison wasn't so much of a cunt.
Well, we gonna tell you more about him.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. So Kira has to go through this whole legal process to like show that the will is true, because Cunt has two brothers named Avery and Thomas. So anyway, we finally get to a point where they prove that the will is true, and like she gets to keep everything. And part of that is the annexed portion of her family's ranch, which is why she married Clint in the first place. Like, she was going to lose her family ranch after her dad died, and she married Clint when she was 18 to like keep her family land. But as she gets back from the courthouse, she finds like on the door of her ranch a little card with the Sovereign Mountain logo on it. And it's just like,
Meet me at my ranch.
yeah, it's literally like, come to my ranch.
With nothing on.
He doesn't say that.
No.
But he's like, we have to like have a discussion. So she's like, fuck it, YOLO, full send, and decides to go. And she goes to this man's ranch, and he is like not a man of many words. He's got two dogs. One of them is named Big Dog, and one is named Small Dog. Like, they don't have real names. But she shows up, and he's like, you and your ranch owe me a lot of money, because I own the bank that is mortgaging your ranch. So you owe me lots of money. But I have a proposition for you.
A contract, if you will.
And he says, you can move in on my ranch, and we will enter a dominant submissive relationship where you will be the submissive, and I will pause your payments for like the year of the contract. And then after that, you will get your family land back, and you won't have to deal with the Garrison stuff anymore.
Something ain't right.
And she's like,
I said, hold up, wait a minute.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
and she goes,
I would sign immediately.
I mean, honestly, in blood, what do you want? A kidney? You can have it, Gerard. Whatever you
I
want.
feel like that's shady. Yeah, no, I'm not buying it.
And Joe's like, I don't know about all that right now. I don't know about that.
I mean, we did not say that he was a good man. He's a good man, Savannah.
But Daddy, I love him.
But she's like, you're a fucking lunatic. No.
Yeah.
And so she like leaves, and he's like, think about it, let me know, like read the contract. He gives it to her, and then she's back at her ranch, and she's like, this is it, this is what it is. And the ranch catches on fire. Her whole ranch. Like, he for some reason is by her.
Yo, Gerard's up to something.
And
It ain't Gerard.
turns out her fuck ass brother-in-law lit the ranch on fire
It lit that bitch up.
to try to kill her. But she gets saved by Gerard Sovereign.
Because they have a suspicion that she had something to do with Clint dying.
Yeah. And they still think the will is
To
fake.
try to kill her, they just were like, we're just gonna light this piece of property.
She was
on
asleep.
fire.
Like, it was, well, they lit the house on fire.
The ranch is like huge. So it's just the house.
Yeah, there's easier ways.
Yeah, so she, correct. He moves her in, and she's like, sad, all these things. And then she's like, on second thought, let's fuck. And he's like, say less. She hasn't signed the contract, anything like that. But they hook up, and it is filthy. So their hookup is like, she has been with Clint, but Clint is the only person she's ever been with, all of these things. And the description is that he is so large that he makes her bleed again. Just massive man is really what it comes down to. And this is where another one of my favorite quotes come in, because she's like never had anyone go down on her. And we get that... We get this quote, which is, he licks his fingers slowly, like he's savoring the taste of me. Never in my life has a man wanted to taste me, and it's a power trip to watch him. What do I taste like? My voice is barely audible. His eyes snap to mine. The air between us crackles. Like pussy.
Like Badusi. Like them Dots pretzels.
Could you imagine? You taste like Dots pretzels, because she put her whole pussy into these.
She put her whole pussy in them pretzels. At home style blend.
So they develop their like BDSM relationship, like, and things kind of
escalate,
continue progressing. But then she realizes that she's like falling in love with him, but she doesn't understand how that's possible. And he is falling in love with her too, but he refuses to admit it. My favorite quote is, he's like, it's his chapter, and he's like, oh, she's gonna think I'm crazy. And the first line of her chapter is, he's fucking psychotic. And I'm like, he is. So one of the things is, they're like obviously developing this BDSM relationship, but they're also trying to find the horses that ran away from her ranch, and that's like a subplot through all of this. And so they find the horses, so they go out to this like cabin to find them. And she is like, she's pissed. She's like, I don't trust you. I don't understand like what happened. They go through the same pass where her husband died, and she's like, what happened to him here? And he was like, I don't know. He died. Like, weird that he's dead, but he is. And so they're like in the house, in this cabin, and really talking about like what that looked like. And his response to her is, I saw you, he says, his voice low and husky. I wanted you, and now you're mine. My stomach goes cold. This time I understand what he's saying without him spelling it out. He saw me, he wanted me, so he killed Clint to make me his. My stomach turns. This is the dark undercurrent I feel when it's just us. I felt it on his pool table, his gun against my pussy, and I feel it now. He killed Clint.
Would you guys you talk about like the dark sort of fantasy and stuff like that? I kind of wonder about it, but yeah, okay, murder,
Yeah, there's
been a murder.
There's been a murder in Sovereign Mountain.
So Clint was unalived by Gerard Sovereign because he really wanted Kira, who he calls Redbird, like that badly. He was
because she has red hair.
Yeah. So he was like, I need her, and he got
spiritually,
sexually,
everything.
Correct.
And then she's cool with it.
Well, she's not like totally cool with it, because the next little part is maybe very aggressive sexual part. So we can just like read this little quote, and that'll tell you kind of how she feels about it.
So he just starts having sex with her, and he says to her,
"Are you ashamed to be fucked by the man who killed your husband?" I breathe. Her eyes roll back and her hips stutter. Maybe she hasn't been put the feelings into words yet. This changes nothing, I tell her. You've already come on my cock, my face, my hands.
Then he says, "You're telling me no, but you're rubbing your pussy on me like a whore. Do you even know what you want, Redbird? Fuck you," she pants. "Fuck you, Sovereign. Fuck you for everything you've done to me. I did you a favor," I say. Her lids flutter. "You're a murderer. You know what to say if you really want me to stop. I hate you." That doesn't sound like your safe word to me. Mic drop.
Yeah, so they're like literally fucking on the kitchen floor at this point, and he
I
is
like
like,
him.
it's clear you still want me, all of this stuff. And he decides in this moment that he's going to be a little bit vulnerable with her. So he like kind of starts telling her about how he feels and that he like wants to be with her. And he's like, one of the lines he says when you realize he's legitimately down bad for her. She makes eggs naked except for both my collars. I wash up and sit at the table to soak in the view. She's so fucking beautiful. It feels like a physical ache in my chest just looking at her. Every little dip, every curve, every soft line, every dimple in her thigh, a work of art. I could spend my lifetime tracing the lines of her body with my tongue and never get tired. But he has not been open with her at all, doesn't really tell her anything like about his history, what he's like, and she really wants to know because she at this point is like, I'm into him, I want to be with him, like that's it. And we know here that the Garrisons and Sovereign have like a really long history, but we don't know why. So, as it turns out, Gerard Sovereign's dad used to be a like ranch hand for the Garrisons, and they lived on the land. So, Sovereign's mom and dad and him, and he was an only child, live on the land. And Abel Garrison, who is the dad of all of the fuckboy Garrisons,
Is equally
a fuckboy.
a fuckboy. So he's had a really traumatic past and he's not been open and vulnerable with her. And so in this moment, he is vulnerable with her. And then that's kind of when she's like, okay.
Yeah. And this kind of continues on. Their relationship continues to develop. And then they get home from doing this, and Maddie is like the cook for the Sovereign Mountain. And she's like, oh, a big package got here for you, Kira. And it's like stuff from your ex-husband, from your deceased husband. And it's a box of like all of this paperwork. And in the box, they find a card, and it is a calling card. It's a black card with like a little Jack Russell Terrier on it. And Sovereign knows exactly what it is because it is a calling card for a contract killer that Sovereign has used himself. Kira is like begging him to tell her what's going on. Like he just, please, 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 I need to know all these things. And he's like, no, I'm not going to tell you this. So he goes and finds Jack Russell and finds out that Clint Garrison and the other two Cunty Garrison brothers put a hit out on Kira. Sovereign decides that he's now going to take matters into his own hand, and he's going to go hunt some Garrisons. And while this is going on, Kira is like still going through the box, and she finds the will that was signed by Clint, that was signed after he died, leaving her everything. So she finds out that the will was faked by Gerard Sovereign so that everything was left to her, so that he could then get her to come to the ranch because they owed money, and she would have to live with him and like be in this BDSM relationship with him.
What a piece of shit.
He is not a piece of shit. He's morally gray.
Men, that's all I gotta say. Like, men suck.
am I right?
Yeah,
Joe?
no, like guys suck. I apologize on behalf of my gender.
That ain't you, Joe.
Ashley and I are sitting here like,
We're like, I know, both of us are like, yes, please. Wow, Gerard, that's so romantic that you did that for her.
we love you. Let me give you a kiss.
But well,
We're not well.
No.
We take Prozac every day.
This podcast is brought to you by taking your goddamn medications.
Take him.
So anyway, they decide they're going to go hunt some Garrisons. And
well, I mean, I'm down for violence.
Oh, they get violent.
so they go and collect the Garrisons. And I'm not going to go into all the details because you need to read the book. But you probably will not. But some people might. But they exact their revenge. Let's say that. And little Miss Kira leaves the Sovereign Mountain Ranch and gets herself into some trouble. And then Sovereign gets shot. And Kira has to haul his big ass body up onto a horse and get him to the cabin to get taken care of.
What are we in the fucking... We're in the 1800s.
They're in the middle of nowhere in Montana.
Yeah, Montana. It's big mountain country. Like,
No, they ride horses
People still
on
ride horses.
farms.
Nope.
Why is she so confused?
Why do you look so confused? Like they ride horses throughout. Like, have you ever watched Yellowstone?
I don't watch a lot of
When you live
TV.
on a farm,
I also don't
Okay,
read a
well
lot,
when
so
you live on a farm and it's huge,
I can't read.
you live on a ranch and it's huge, It's acres and acres and acres of land.
Oh,
Thousands.
And you raise horses and cattle. You have to wrangle the cattle with horses.
Cut this out. Cut this out of the podcast.
You also find out later on that Sovereign was at one point engaged previously. She also died. We're not going to say why or how or anything. You'll find out.
Well, let's just
if
say
you read
it's
the book.
part of the reason they went garrison hunting.
Correct.
So they essentially get their like happy ever answer. What?
Ever answer? They get their happy ever answer.
Their happy ever after. They get their happily ever after, and we get to the like end of book sex scene, which is like the 90% of the way through the book sex scene. All right, let's heat him with it. Oh God, what is he going to do? His mouth brushes kisses down my shoulder and upper arm. Then his fingers slide between my legs and my vision flashes as he slips a slender vibrator up into my pussy. My inner muscles clench, pushing it deep inside so it moves against my G-spot. I whimper around the leather. My eyes start running. He stands and unfastens the ties of his pants. Close your eyes, pain slut. He pushes back in one last time and comes with a low groan, dragging his cock out as he does, so the first pulses go down my throat and the last spatter my chin. Fuck, he says hoarsely. Pretty whore, mouthful of cock, covered in cum. I'm so overstimulated I can't tell if I'm still orgasming or not. Tongue out, he orders. Weakly I obey, spilling saliva and cum out onto my chin. It slips warm down my breasts and stomach, and the corner of his mouth turns up. Euphoria.
Jesus Christ.
He came to the concert.
Yeah, he came to the concert. She came to the concert. Everybody came to the concert.
We're all going to this concert.
Yeah, everybody going to that concert. And so then he eventually does ask her to marry him.
Whoa.
What a harsh change from what I just read to.
No, because I'm gonna lead into something
But
else.
he also doesn't ask her.
He demands.
He just says,
tells her.
he says, we're actually,
Told her how to do every fucking thing else.
he actually just says, yeah, we're definitely getting married. And she's just like, yes. And I'm like, he didn't ask you a question.
Correct.
What happened in her childhood?
A lot. There.
She's troubled.
This part was kind of. Well, they were fucking during it, but this part was kind of sweet. I'm backing up a little bit, but it says,
Probably not sweet at all.
It's kind of sweet.
it's kind of sweet. She says to him, I would have slept with you that first night. You didn't need the contract. I would have fucked you. He said, fucking isn't enough. I want to love you. And then he said, let me love you. Let me be your man. Let me make you the mother of my children.
But also, but also it's important to note that he had a vasectomy.
And hey, he gets that thing snip, snap, snip, snap. He get that thing.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
That does.
You gotta put the mic to your mouth, Joe.
Sorry, I didn't know. You know, like yeah. I mean, like that has like it's different. You know.
But he gets it reversed.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Wait,
did
wait,
say
what?
vasectomy
What?
Wait. He tells her he wants to get his vasectomy reversed, and he's like, I want to have babies. And she's like, what the actual fuck are you talking about?
Which is a appropriate response.
But then she's like, oh, wait, I love him. But Daddy, I
love him.
And what kind of father would he be? Do you guys think? Like probably, yeah.
There's actually a second little book, an extended epilogue, if you will, that we just found out existed today, called Redbird, and it is about their life 6 years later.
But he says to her, I killed Clint because he was sleeping in bed with my wife. And Ashley probably just fell on the floor at that moment.
I love a my wife moment.
My wife.
My wife. She loves when a big broody man says, my wife.
Correct.
Even if it involves murder.
Correct.
I'm just learning so much about how to be a man from you guys right now.
I would still bark like I want it.
Yeah, we would bark.
Gerard.
For Gerard.
And then that's the book. There's some more things.
I think, that we're talking about the vasectomy. This says, it says, he smooths back my hair playing with a strand, Tell me what you want for the future. The future has never been easy for me to imagine. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. But with Sovereign, I feel like I'm just waking up. I don't know, I admit. But whatever, I'd like it to be with you. His jaw works and his hand leads my hair and trails down to my stomach. My body goes still as his fingertips skate across the curve in my lower belly. His lashes are lowered, his face unreadable. Sovereign, I whisper. He clears his throat. I scheduled an appointment for a reversal. That part, I was kind of like...
I cackled like a actual evil witch.
Yeah.
I was like, and I think I said, what the actual fuck?
And then it goes, my heart picks up. His eyes flick up. The air between us feels thick with tension. What are you saying? I whisper, the reversal success rates are very high for what I had done. Like, when I read that, I was like, huh? How do we go from spit in my face and slide this in here and do this to the vasectomy reversal rates are very high? That was my one complaint.
It felt so clinical. Like, he says all these horrible, dirty things to her, and then he's just like, I think I'm going to get my vasectomy reversed.
It almost felt like Forrest Gump.
The latest Stanford studies have shown.
The fitness gram pacer test. Oh god.
So I guess we should give our book boyfriend ratings. I don't know, man.
He's not my favorite, but I still
No,
think
but
he's
I
hot. 4 out of 5.
Minus 1 point for the murder, but plus 2 for all the really dirty things he says.
I'm giving him a 3.5.
Why did you act like my 4 was so egregious? You
I don't know.
Only a half point lower than me.
I don't know. I took off 0.5 for the vasectomy comments. Siggy rating.
Oh, God.
Cigarette
Oh, God.
rating. How many cigarettes did I need? How many cigarettes did you feel like you needed to chain smoke just hearing all that?
Okay, out of a pack of 20 cigarettes,
Yeah.
which I realized listening to the earlier episodes, you guys did.
But we did our research and we found out.
We did our research like Sovereign.
Your producer did your research.
So, I mean, 6.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I would say.
I don't know. I feel like, so we've only read, obviously, some of the smutty parts to you. But with all of the smutty parts, I don't know, probably like a 7 or 8.
Some of the smut was
But some of it was a
little cringe.
little cringy.
Well, and so, all right, so I can add an addendum to that. So like the gun
Yeah.
in the vagina, right? Like, so I don't consider that really sexy.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Most
so,
people don't.
Yeah, so that's it bumps it up a notch,
Yeah.
but not in that.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Okay.
I would say 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Raw dog reactions. It's our segment where we have our dogs in the building. Our dogs.
Our dog is Joe.
Our dog is Joe.
Today.
He's our home dog. And we get their raw, honest.
Yes.
Oh, you're allowed to say whatever you want.
We have a
This is
bleep.
unfiltered.
We also have a bleeping function.
We also have the E for explicit.
We do. We are
on
E for
podcast.
explicit.
And that's why it takes a while to upload. So, you can say fuck. And it doesn't matter. You can say dick.
Which we do.
Joe, you ready? Are you prepared?
Can I ever be prepared? Can anyone be prepared? I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared,
Lindsay?
but I'm ready to accept what's coming.
Okay. This is the male main character talking to the female. Put my hat between your teeth, girl, I order, and crawl to me on your hands and knees. Her beautiful face glistens with cum and tears. Her eyelids are heavy with desire, and her cheeks are flush. The brim of my hat pushes the corner of her lips, like it did when I made her hold the ruler. Different scene. Reminding me of how she looked with her mouth full of cock.
So I guess my first thought is, so he's already come on her face, and then he's still making and then she has. So
Yeah.
okay.
Correct.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course
What
she
was
does.
she gonna
'Cause,
do?
yeah. So,
She does. crawl to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sexy. I'm alright with
Gerard Sovereign, I would do the same.
Yes. This is a chapter. So this is a dual POV. We should probably specify that. So
Yeah.
there's chapters that are like the male main characters and then chapters that are the female main characters. And this one is the male main characters. I flip her onto her back and push the tip of my cock against the entrance of her pussy. I let out a low groan as I come, filling her, putting my cum where it belongs. She's flushed when I pull back. When she moves to get up, I take her wrist and pull her back down. No, you leave it inside you, I say quietly. She's not on birth control and I can smell she's ovulating. The scent is a little sweeter and it hits me like a brick wall. It's like an electric shock that blows my pupils and turns my senses all the way up.
wow.
I can smell that she's ovulating.
I can smell it.
Yeah, that's like the sensory. Yeah.
How does one do that?
I mean, I guess like the no leave my cum inside you like piece is a little on the edge.
On the edge, like the edge. What?
Hold me now.
I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking.
I'm sweating.
This podcast is sponsored by Creed.
Yeah, but I like the that quite I like the descriptions,
Yeah.
the smell and all that sort of stuff. I reckon,
Hey,
I'm sweating.
we ain't gonna shame nobody.
No, I'm not gonna shame anybody. That one's a little more hardcore.
Oh, well, you just wait.
Okay, all right, I'm excited.
It's also hot in here because the temperature's hot.
What? What?
While we're all sweating.
No.
Not because it's sexy.
Can I read one?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good idea. That was
Yes. Wait. Lindsay did have that idea. Okay, I'm gonna highlight the one that we want you to read.
Oh.
Because sometimes I feel like we should get the reaction of them reading it.
It is a little different when you read it than when
You're
you
like,
hear
oh,
someone else read it.
Because I mean, that's like the actual authentic
Yeah.
like, part of the story,
Yeah.
like the book, right? Like you're
That one?
reading it for the first time. Okay, so I'm gonna read this out loud.
This is Joe now reading. This is the male saying this to the female.
She's essentially asking like what he wants to do to her, and this is what we get.
Choke your perfect throat. Fuck you until you pass out, and fuck you to wake you back up. Find out how much fucking your mouth can take before you tap out. Paint your ass with bruises until you can't sit on it. Her eyes widen, lids fluttering. You're a pain slut. And I want to know how far I can take that, I say.
A round of applause for Joe, ladies and gentlemen.
Pain slut. I've never heard that term.
Oh, that is a frequently used term in a lot of these books.
We were like putting this together, that was
terrific.
Yeah, that was amazing. A plus.
10 out of 10.
My job is always to put the list of characters because somehow I remember names somewhat better than Haley does. And I was putting the characters, and the female main character's name is Kira. And I put Kira, and then under it I put Redbird because that's like one of her nicknames. And then underneath that I put Pain Slut because that's what he calls her like most of the book.
Yeah. All right, last one.
What were your thoughts on that?
Thanks for letting me do that. It's okay. Pain slut is a little different.
Do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it?
I'll do it.
All right, let's go, girl. All right. I just want to specify that this is a theme that we have heard in these books before, in some of these books. And every time, it really just, it does something. And that's it.
Yes. That's why I'm sitting like this.
That's your preface to this quote. Like,
quote.
okay, so
This is a
all right.
Hold on to your britches, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, everybody hold on. Trigger warning. You've been warned.
Literally, trigger.
That was good.
Wow, I'm so funny.
It's good.
Good soup.
Fire, y'all.
This is the female's point of view. Here we go. He's fucking psychotic. My head spins, and I feel the steel tip of the gun enter my body. That body part is what you think it is. Oh, God. I'm going to come or die. Just like the first time he put that enormous cock into my body and fucked me until I bled. What kind of man made someone bleed when they weren't even a virgin? He thrust the barrel once. Answer me. The grip on My throat eases just enough so I can speak. Stars pop as air floods my brain, sending even more blood thrumming between my thighs. I am a Garrison, I gasp. Neither of us can change that. He tilts the gun, and I feel it push against my G-spot. The entrance of my sex throbs, so sensitive it aches as tight muscles grip the weapon. It should have been me, he says, jaw tight. I should have been the one to fuck you first.
In case anyone was wondering, I had to put down the book at this point and like walk or take a lap around the house.
Smoke 18 cigarettes.
I had one in each ear, one in each nostril, and one in my mouth. I'm just kidding. I don't smoke.
All right. Well, I can say it helped me like reading over your shoulder. Like it's easier to like see it like written than just like hear it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, in reality, that would not be safe sexual practices at all.
I mean, no, but I can't say that someone probably has not done that.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, many people have done that.
Many.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, you know, like, yeah, no, it's a book.
This just in, ladies and gentlemen, it is a book.
That's my fantasy, is not putting a gun into a woman's vagina.
I mean, what happens if that thing just pops off?
There's lots of bad things that could happen, all over the place.
Correct.
Wrong.
No, not wrong.
No, correct. Yeah. Wow. Hey, and that...
Sorry, I didn't have a very interesting...
No, it's because you're blown the fuck away. You don't know what else to say, because it is just questionable.
Questionable behavior. And that
Is Raw Dog Reactions.
is Ashley. We're going to do the weekly report. The R is for...
does not want to
Oh,
participate.
that's fine. The R is for reading. And I am currently reading a book called Take One, Save One by TJ Gossamer, which that's not the right English, who is a friend of ours, and I'm super excited about it. Yeah, so that's my R for reading.
It's Haley. I am currently reading... I'm finishing up. I'm on like the tail end of the advanced reader's copy for Wild Pitch by C.L. Rose. I'm behind Ashley. I know.
Riggs Valentine is my new favorite book boyfriend. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm reading the same book that I said I was reading at the beginning of the podcast, that it's The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. It's really good.
Proud of you.
All right, the E from the weekly report is for eating. And it's Ashley, and this week I have been eating... I made homemade avocado jalapeno ranch dressing, and it was good as shit.
There you go.
Okay.
It's Haley. I'm not eating anything really
okay.
because I just came back from Arizona.
Actual twat person.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm being honest with our listeners. I just came back from Arizona and I have nothing in my pantry and I have nothing in my fridge.
That's Pressel.
She made a lot of chicken salad. I seen her.
I seen it.
No. I got chicken salad at work the other day.
This is Joe. I've been going to a local cheesesteak place, which is really good. And then also, I've just been trying to make really basic sandwiches at my house, which is white bread and meat and mayonnaise. Bring that to work. Yeah.
And meat.
Sandwich guy.
Meat is what's for dinner.
It's Ashley. The P is for playing, and I am currently in my yearly rewatch of the Gilmore Girls because it's the fall. And playing could be, sorry, you've listened to the pod, Joe, but playing can be anything that you are listening to or watching or video games. Oh, I'm also playing chess.
The teeth at the end.
I had American Girl.
I'm also playing. She had American Girl. I'm also playing chess.
Just not me with my American Girl doll teeth.
Oh my god, that overbite. It's Haley. I am. I kind of got off my SoundCloud kick. I'm You know what? I'm playing my emo playlist on repeat.
Wake me up.
On repeat. My
September and
aggressive. A lot of Corn.
okay.
A lot of Sleep Token. Just feeling a little aggressive. If you lean into the rage, it makes you feel a little bit better.
I have some things that are better than corn for you. Okay, this is Joe. I'm playing. Usually I do jujitsu, but my finger's fucked up, so like I'm not doing jujitsu, so I have bad dreams now.
We hate that.
No, me too. But I've been playing lots of good music, and then
With his sword.
with a sword.
Playing with a sword.
Yeah, and like lots of house stuff. Like I've been doing and pulling lots of weeds, and yeah. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. Like I try to be cool, but I'm not.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing with weeds.
Yeah. So yeah.
He's been playing
That's right.
Fruit Ninja in his own house with his little hatchet. His hatchet. He's been playing Fruit Ninja with his hatchet.
It's not.
I mean his katana.
Hatchet.
Katana. Katana wins. Flawless victory.
It's not.
I mean his
With his katana.
It's Ashley. The O is for obsessing over, and I've been obsessing over local bookstores. It's a huge vibe.
Huge vibe.
I got bronchitis.
It's Haley. I've been obsessing over a Yaparol spritz.
Ugh.
It's where you sit and yap
And drink an apple.
and drink an Aperol spritz. Hey, and I'd love to, you don't know what an Aperol spritz is?
It's a prosecco. With
It's a prosecco with Aperol liqueur and a little bit of club soda.
Okay, this is Joe. I've been obsessing over.
In my own house.
No, not Fruit Ninja.
live action Fruit Ninja.
Yeah. Tag y'all. I don't know. I need to hang a sword up.
Nail art.
Yeah, nail art. Yeah, and drawing. And just trying to like draw and just trying to make my house better and be creative and whatnot.
We love that.
The R, it's Ashley. The second R is for, I know what it's for.
I'm sorry, you looking at me?
I just wanted to make really close eye contact with
I'm
you.
sorry.
The R is for recommending. And I am recommending
Silence.
Actually, I am recommending some silence. Have you ever just wanted to sit in silence?
Yes.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yes. Is that what you want? Okay.
Silence. I don't have anything else to say.
All right. It's Haley. I'm playing and recommending the new season of Love is Blind.
This is Joe. I'm recommending actually The Penguin on HBO. Yeah, super good.
You ain't smoked nothing.
You literally could have said that was what you were playing right now.
What?
For the P, you could have said penguin.
Playing Fruit Ninja and
He's playing Fruit Ninja.
I know. So let him be.
The T is treating yourself. It's Ashley. And I am treating myself to a brand new New York Yankees shirt because the Yankees are in the ALCS against the Cleveland Guardians, and I am so excited for baseball. I know you only ever hear me talk about hockey, but let me tell you what. I love baseball. What? I want to come to the game.
It's Haley. I haven't really treated myself to anything. Hey, you know what? We treated ourselves to new podcast equipment.
We did. That's a good one.
This is Thomas.
This is Gerard. I'm treating myself to a contract and a sexy redheaded woman, and then killing her husband.
Gerard and I have an agreement going on.
Nope.
Thomas and Gerard. Or
What kind? Gerard is full of fucking agreements.
and that concludes the weekly report. Something else to talk about is the fact that the A&H two-person book club got selected to be advanced readers, which for those who listen to this just as supportive people and are not part of, avid reader community, means that authors put out books early to people who are avid readers. Most of the time they are people who have some form of social media presence. And we have just been hyping up CL Rose because, we've done all 3 of the Boston Blizzards series books on this podcast and tagging her religiously. And we put in an application for the ARC reader and we got it. And not only are we an advanced reader, but we are part of her content team now. So that means that we will get advanced reader copies of every book she puts out. And hopefully we also applied for the PR swag package. Hopefully we'll get that. CL Rose, we love you.
I said the last episode that we were obsessed with you, and that was maybe inappropriate, but it remains true.
It remains true. And we will be reviewing Wild Pitch probably on our next episode, because we have to wait until the official book release to post our official reviews.
It is so good.
So good.
One of the best books I think I've read this year.
And then another advanced reader copy that we got was Brutal Game by Jo Brenner, which is it's a hockey romance. Actually, I think it was our first episode, I was reading, it was our last now next segment, I think. I said I was actively reading Butterfly by Jo Brenner, and she wrote that book, obviously. We applied for this one, got this one, and we have posted our reviews everywhere. And this is our review here. It was a great book. I rated it a 5 out of 5 on our Goodreads. The spice was spicing for sure. The storyline was amazing. There was honestly a lot of depth to it. You learn a lot about both of the characters throughout the whole book. It kept me on the edge of my seat for sure. So much. I couldn't fall asleep because I was just swiping. But it was great. Joe, thank you for choosing us to be an advanced reader. Does anybody else have anything going on they want to talk about? Anybody got anything?
I just really enjoyed hanging out with you guys.
Thank you, Joe, for coming for coming to the concert.
Everyone, big round of applause for Joe.
He survived. And thank you to our producer. She did a great job tonight.
Yeah, this was the most I think she's actually produced an episode the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, well,
you had your background commentary. That's going to be gold.
no, maybe last episode she produced a little more.
Yeah, she ain't got a DJ booth yet. We're going to get DJ booth. That's next.
If anyone would like to donate to the podcast, just reach out to me slide into my DMs, either on Instagram. So our Instagram is at _H book club. If you'd like to follow us on Instagram, you can find us on Spotify at A&H 2-person book club. You can find us on TikTok. I'm having an aneurysm. I don't know what the name is.
And we are soon to publish our YouTube channel, where we will have our podcast audio for those who do not have Spotify.
Yeah, remember to comment, and subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating, please. Help.
And hey, we are willing to do an ad read for anything at this point. I don't care what it is. It can be dog food, cigarettes, sex toy.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun.
It would be on brand because so many bookstagrams do that.
Is somebody gonna match my freak?
I match your freak.
You do. That's why we're friends.
Yes. Thank you, Joe, for coming on. Thank you, Lindsay, for being our producer. We'll get you that DJ booth one day. Thank you, Ashley, for being my co-host.
Thank you, Haley, for being my co-host.
Direct eye contact.
I will now
Give
reward
you a little-
with 5 minutes of uninterrupted eye contact.
I will now reward you with a kiss. Thank you all for listening. Shout out to all my dogs at the crib.
In the club, we all fam.
Thanks, y'all.
An H2-person podcast where we talk about sexy books and hockey ass.